What's up guys, welcome to the channel. I hope you are all staying safe at home. It's not easy having to stay in, is it, and not be able to go out and do the stuff you enjoy. Hopefully over the next few weeks so things will settle down. I'm going to try and get some videos out that will give you some ideas of stuff you can do while you're at home, and hopefully that will help. Anyway, let's get into this video. So we've got three mini crawlers. We've got the Hobby Plus CR18. We've got the Panda Hobby Tetra, and then we've got the new Tiger Dog HG18. These are in price order, and we're going to put them against each other on a couple of little tests. Then I'm going to give them a little bit of a score for build quality and performance, and then we'll have a look at the end and see who comes out the winner. Nice and cheap these. I'm going to have a guess. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure they're under $100. This is the same as the new RGT Outback X as well, that you can get. If you've not seen a review to that, I will leave a link at the end of the video. This is the Panda Hobby Tetra. This thing is really nice. Lots of nice features, including some really nice oil shocks. One of the best things on this is the suspension, especially on a mini crawler. You don't get it often, but yeah, I really like the suspension on this, and the performance is really good as well. A nice Dodge Power Wagon body on that, and again I'll leave the review to that at the end of this video. And then we've got the Tiger Dog HG18, and this thing, I mean, this is going to win the build quality straight away, but we'll talk about that in a minute. All of them 1/18 scale, all of them mini crawlers. We're going to see which is the best. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to give them a climb test. I've set this to 50 degrees. We'll keep it at 50 and increase as necessary. We might have to decrease for some of them, but I think I might have tested this, but I'm not sure I've tested the Hobby Plus. I've definitely not tested this. So let's give them a test and see how steep they can climb. Right, let's start with the cheapest, the Hobby Plus CR18. Here we go. Oh. Then we need a bit of a run up. There we go, now slow and steady. Come on. Right, I'm going to give it that, but that is its limit. It is not doing more than 50. So that is the CR18. Let's go for the Panda. It's doing price order, so let's go for the Panda Hobbies next. This has got 3 speeds. I'm going to leave it in medium. It's got low, medium and high. Medium's my favourite. We're just going to leave it in medium. Shouldn't have a problem. There you go. So no rear bumper on that, so that's good. Oh, this is easily going to do it. 50. Right. Put that to one side. Right, let's give the Tiger Dog a go. This has got quite a short wheelbase. It might drag a bit at the back. However, it's the heaviest and it's the most expensive. I'd expect it to be able to do 50, but has it got the grip? Well, it hasn't got the ground clearance. Oh, come on, man. Right, I guess it loses at least half a point for not being able to get up that angle, but let's give it a chance. Oh. Here we go. Oh, maybe all that weight's not as good. He's struggling a bit with the no, it's not got enough power to climb that. Oh. No. So we're going to give first place to the Panda Hobby. That made it up easily. That to do over 50. I'm pretty sure when I tested it, it done about 53, I think. Second place we're giving to the Hobby Plus. That did make it, but only just. It was right on the limit for that. And then last for the Tiger Dog HG18. Not only did it struggle, it also couldn't make it. It's heavy, this, compared to the others. I mean, it's probably twice the weight of that. And although that extra weight is going to keep it down, it's going to need a bit more power, and not all the weight's up front, so it was tipping. So 3 points, 2 points, 1 point. let's give them a quick score on build quality. Now, I'm going to go straight in with a Hobby Plus. It is all plastic. I think it's got metal gears in there, but there's a lot of plastic in there. Plastic wheels, nice tyres, but overall it is the cheapest, so I expect it to be lower quality, so we're going to score that as the lowest. That only gets 1 point. Then out of these two, it's a tough decision. The Panda Hobbies is really nice. I really do like it. I really like they got some really good oil suspension on it, but again, a lot of plastic parts under there, very generic stuff. If it didn't have the oil shocks, it'd be very similar to the Hobby Plus. So I'm going to score that second because of them really nice oil shocks. And then finally, I've got to score this the highest, purely down to just the amount of engineering work that's gone into there. I mean, it might not perform the best, but we're going to check that next. But for build, this is definitely a winner. 3 points, 2 points, 1 point. Right, let's see how they got on the little course I made outside, and we're going to mark them on their performance. Right, so first up we are going to take the Panda Hobbies out. This thing, I really love the performance in this, and as you can see straight away, no issues. Loads of ground clearance. Them open front wheels as well give it a good chance when it's going over obstacles. Needed a bit of wheel speed here, and this thing has got wheel speed. This is in the medium, like set on medium. It's got low, medium and high speed. It's only an electrical switch, it's not mechanical like gearbox, but I keep it in medium because I think that's the ideal speed for this kind of crawling. No problems getting across there. Straight up here. Good turning circle on this all the way around. Bit of a mistake there, but we put it back up. I mean, I've got a timer up there. It's not going to be. I mean, I know the time for all three. There's quite a big difference, so we don't need to be too strict with when it falls off and stuff. Every time there's a cut in this video, I've made sure that the truck's kept still so it doesn't move any further forward. So the time's pretty relevant, but it's not an be-all and end-all. This thing, no problem at all, as you've seen. Straight over most of the obstacles, and then we're going to get onto here. It has got a drag brake, and then we're going to reverse it, and we're going to go the other way. What really helps this is them front wheels being, no front bumper or no low hanging front bumper or anything, so the first thing to touch an obstacle is them front wheels. It did struggle here though, just no grip. There's foams in these tyres and they're not all that soft. Could have been a bit softer and it probably would have got up here. We had to give up and I placed it on the rocks. Up and over here, no problems. Back round the corner. Relatively good to control this. It's not got that slow control that the HG, the Tiger Dog's got, but it's pretty good. This is quite tricky, this little bit, because it's got black tape one side and it does try and slide, as you see there. You have to get just the right line, try and straddle that bit of wood, and then no problems. Down the slide. I thought it'd get straight over here, but again, I think it's the tyres here. It's got the power and it's got that clearance. It just can't get the grip. So good performance all round and 3 minutes time. Right, most expensive one. The Tiger Dog. Now this hasn't got the wheel speed, and you've probably already seen, if you've seen the review, you'll see that it doesn't make it up here and it needs a bit of a push. I did try a couple of times and then helping hand. And then over here, it's a little bit smaller than the rest, a little bit heavier, so it's got a bit more stability. Although it did fall, it's definitely a bit more planted on the terrain and stuff. But as you've seen, that extra weight does cause it issues when it's trying to climb really steep. Again, steering, like I mentioned in the review of this, it hasn't got a decent steering angle. I need to look at that and try and increase it. It'll probably just mean a servo change, or have a look to see if I can change the dual rate on the controller. Slowly down here and off. Ground clearance and that low line bumper is a problem for this. But I think, to be honest with you, the real Suzuki Jimny isn't made for an all-out crawler off-roader. It's pretty capable. Just like this, it's got its moments. It's got its own terrain. Crawling with little dips and obstacles, like big obstacles, is not its forte. I had to help it across here. It just wouldn't make it. So, if I had a bit more ground clearance, or without that front bumper, it's probably alright. I might take it off, see if it performs better. I was surprised at this bit. I don't know whether it was the sand on the tyres, because it did have grip going down. It had that drag brake, did hold it, but just not working very well. And it had no chance on there. I even lifted the front wheels and still just couldn't get up because of the ground clearance. Like I mentioned in the review, I really do like this one. I just wish it performed a bit better. Again, just too much for it to try and climb up with that low slung bumper. I did try and go at an angle, but it was having none of it, so I had to give it a helping hand. You can see we're up to about the 3-minute mark now, which is when the Panda Hobby had already finished, so this thing didn't perform too well, and I wasn't even going to bother trying this because it wasn't going to make it. But gave it a try anyway, just to try and be fair. Over the top, and 3 minutes 18, so 18 seconds slower. Now the underdog, the cheapest by quite a bit on between this and the HG, and also all plastic, and the lowest quality. Not quite got the wheel speed for here, nearly, but not quite. So had to give it a helping hand. But no issues really. I mean, yeah, it couldn't climb up that slide. Getting across here, because it's light, it's got quite good balance. Not got much weight pushing on that black tape. It got hooked up on the bumper on that screw sticking out. I mean, that was a bit unfortunate. We let it off that. Really nice turning round there. Again, quite easy to get onto here. Didn't need to reverse. Good bit of flex. Friction dampers on this, but on a little light crawler like this, you don't really need oil. This thing is flying, as you can see. The underdog that looks like it's going to be the best performing. Right, that just over a minute to get there, so if we can get back in the same sort of time, it's going to be doing good. Now this is where the Panda and the Tiger both failed. The Hobby Plus, no problem at all. Got in a bit of a pickle here. Try it again. Ooh. It's quite slippery on there, so it just back end slipped off a bit. But we're up all the way around. Again, this has got quite a decent turning circle, and because it's light with them friction dampers, it does all right on these obstacles. Struggled a bit here, slipping, but did manage to get on and full, and then straight over, no problems. Decent time this. Down the slide. Again, the other two failed at this, but this one, no problem at all. Straight over, 2 minutes 38. So there you go, guys. That is the end of this video. I hope you liked that, comparing these. We'll tot up the scores and I'll put them on the screen now. I can't remember off the top of my head. I think 3 for the climb, 2 for quality, and it'd be 2 for the performance on that course. So in my head, that makes 7. 2 for the climb, 3 for the performance, because that done so well on that course. So that's 5, and then 1 for the quality. So that's 6. And this one, 1 for the climb, 1 for the performance, and 3 for quality. So that's 4. So that, to me, puts it first, second, and unfortunately the most expensive one is not the best. Links to all these in the description. Really rate this. Decent, cheap indoor mini crawler. But if you want to spend a little bit extra, the Panda Hobbies is really good. Shop around for this. They do a Jeep body style and they do a Bronco body style as well. Go onto the Panda Hobbies website and have a look at the other stuff they do. And if you've got a bit of cash to spend and you want some really good quality metal with some machined parts and stuff under there, it's probably going to be good to upgrade. Anyway, cheers for watching. We'll see you next time.